what do you think of Ron Paul and his running for president?
I love Ron Paul. I think Ron Paul should be the #1 candidate on this entire Republican race, and he's the #1 ignored candidate on the entire Republican race. Michelle Bachmann is ahead of him, for Christ's sakes, which is all BS. He's the only guy that actually has experience and knowledge, I feel, on how to dismantle the American government, because the American government is the enemy of the American people. Pretty much by his policy of wanting to get rid of the Fed, take all the troops from around the world, being the NYPD of the planet, bring them back to the country to patrol our own borders, eliminating income tax, so I have more money in my pocket. Last year I made $110,000, and I paid $35,000 of that in taxes. I could use $35,000. And that's more money in my pocket, less money in the other people's pocket from around the world, like Pakistan, who wants to just hide Bin Laden, or Iran, who wants to just build nukes and kill us. So I think Ron Paul's the man.
No, it's all right. All right. So what do you think?
Blackout.
Ron Paul blackout. Well, I'll be talking about that a little later. What do you think of his pretty much like his stance on economics? What do you think of?
Oh, I love his stance on economics. It's basic. It's Reaganomics, not economics.
He was a close friend of Reagan.
Small government, no income taxes. Stop taxing the people. Stop, racking trillions of dollars in debt that you borrow from China, and you're only paying interest to China, not even the debt. The principal of the debt hasn't been touched for God knows how long. We're at, $15 trillion in debt now? And he wants to cut $1 trillion in debt within the first year of presidency by eliminating federal departments of the government that are virtually useless, all while eliminating income taxes. So go figure that.
Which is great, because currently the Obama's plan is somewhat like his plan is going to save the country somewhat like what, like $86 billion over the next decade.
Next 10 to 12 years.
Yeah, which
is pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, which compares to $16 trillion is nothing. It's like pennies on the dollar, like you said. So
if you take the income tax away from you or I, and you give me $40,000 more a year to spend because I work my ass off all day, every day, 5, 6, 7 days a week sometimes, 8, 10 hours a day sometimes, because I'm an American, that's what I do, and I work, and I'm not asking for handouts like people who don't want to work. You give me $40,000 extra a year, just one guy, and I can go buy something decent, or buy a bunch of different things that are decent.
And that's more
that
money.
Will stimulate the economy. And I'm just one person. Now imagine 350 million people with more money in their pocket. It's going to be a spending frenzy. End of story.
It keeps the money here.
And if say AT&T wants to hire 10,000 new people, but they can't because they have to cut 10,000 salaries just to pay Obamacare or pay their corporate taxes, well, now they can't. And then people wonder, I wonder why job growth isn't happening. Well, it's not happening because it's taxed up the ass. You stop taxing the people. You stop taxing the companies. Why do you think companies went to Dubai? Because they're not charging them tax. That's why.
It's one of the reasons, yeah.
That's most of the reason.
I believe that.
You don't outsource a job because someone doesn't know how to do it. You outsource a job because you don't want to pay the person and you don't want to pay the tax on the income. It's not rocket science. It's basic economics. It's the whole reason why America was founded, because they were getting taxed and boom. And how'd you get to that? American Revolution.
So what do you think of Ron Paul's his view on healthcare? What do you think of his view on Obamacare and how he wants to lower the amount of government control? Because everybody knows that when the more government control, just like Section 8, people who rent and use Section 8, they know they're getting their check. So when you have health insurance companies knowing that the government's going to back them, they can raise the prices however they want because they know it's going to get paid regardless. So what do you think of that? Because that's pretty much Ron Paul's view.
Obamacare is a major factor, I believe, in the layoffs of major companies, because now they have to pick up more expenses on more health insurance costs for apparently no reason at all. And Medicaid is one of the worst medical system in the country, because I've been on Medicaid and nothing gets done. The working man needs a little help. Nope. That's what you get when the working man needs help. Nothing. You get screwed.
So
get screwed. Why should I have to pay for your health insurance? Oh, granted, I was on Medicaid, but I got nothing out of it because I needed major surgery. Major surgery wasn't paid for because I paid my taxes. Oh, wait a second. But that's what happens at Medicaid. And, it's a law in Obamacare saying that every American has to have insurance. Well, that's like me going down the street and you taking me by the hand and bringing me to a car dealership and saying, you have to buy this car. But, sir, I don't want to. Well, that's too bad. Or we're going to fine you. So now if I don't buy the car, you're going to charge me anyway, on top of what I got to pay for the car. That's what Obamacare is. Before Obamacare, 50% liberty, 50% government control. Now it's 51% government control, 49% liberty. And it's decreasing day by day. Because people who put Obama in office had their heads so far shoved up their own ass and did not see this happening. Name one, I'll tell you what, and I'll ask you, name one thing Obama done. I'll wait.
One thing Obama has
One thing, positive.
One thing positive that
Stop torture by sending Guantanamo Bay inmates back to Yemen only to attack us again. That did happen.
I believe it.
How many attempted terrorist attacks have occurred since Obama became president? About 4. All within about 1 year. And he wanted to take away the CIA that Bush put in place for anti-terrorism. Now imagine if he did. Times Square bomber, the condom bomber on the plane. What else? I noticed something else.
No, I really can't name anything that he has done well for except double our debt.
In about half the time.
Pretty much. Oh. Well, thank you, Sal.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been real. All right. Thanks for your stance. All right. Yes. America, Revolution, Ron Paul 2012.